Friday, November 4, 2016. Welcome to this edition of the Government News Brief. In the news, the Ministry of Social Protection is working on collaboration with agencies to better serve abused victims, thousands of rural residents to benefit from improved roads through the Farm Access Roads project, and new agencies are being sought to promote tourism in London. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renetta LaFleur, and here are the details. The Ministry of Social Protection is seeking to collaborate with the security and the judicial sectors to reduce delays in securing justice for victims of abuse. Tiffany Rodius has the details.
Minister of Social Protection Waldo Lawrence says that the law enforcement must be strengthened to ensure that victims of abuse secure justice.
We have to ensure that we strengthen our police force so that when they write those charges, that it is done in such a way that it can hold.
Minister Lawrence says that victims are robbed of their lives when they have to endure lengthy court proceedings only to have the matter dismissed.
The pain is tremendous when a person or a victim, one of our girls, would have gone through all the years of waiting, going to all the court dates and so on, and then at the end, this matter is thrown out. I mean, it is unbearable hurt. It is unbearable hurt. You know, they would have stayed away from their village, their way of life, and everything. They would have done everything that we asked them to do. And then at the end of it, there is no justice. That hurts. That hurts. And that is our weak area.
The ministry is collaborating with sister ministries and agencies to ensure the timely delivery of justice.
And that's why we're partnering to ensure that we get it right at that end. We get it right so that our young victims can understand that we do care and that there is justice. And the perpetrators will not just walk away with a smile on their face.
The Ministry of Social Protection has been strengthening the capacity of its officers throughout the country to ensure that officers do not delay reported cases of abuse. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
The Farm Access Roads project, funded by the Caribbean Development Fund (CDF), has achieved its goal of building better quality roads, allowing farmers easier access to farms, markets, as well as construction of bridges and better drainage systems. More in this report from Paul McAdam.
Over 9,500 farming households comprising over 35,000 persons now have easier access to farmlands. This is as a result of upgrades to the farm access roads at Ruby in Region 3, the Luni in Region 4, and Onvoact in Region 5. The successful interventions to the community roads were shared by the project coordinator, Frederick Flats, and the monitoring and evaluating consultation company, SF Kalir, at a closeout ceremony at the Ministry of Agriculture's boardroom today.
We worked on 4 roads. The main access road at Purika, and this was 7 kilometers long, and we built one main reinforced concrete access bridge. Also in Region 3, we had the Ruby Road, 7.2 kilometers long, and both of those roads I mentioned there were asphaltic concrete. In La Luni, we did an all-weather road, over 13 kilometers long, and there we did a number of bridges. On Voact, that was asphaltic concrete road, 3.5 kilometers long.
Recognizing that farmers, producers, and buyers faced difficulties in transporting produce and machinery, as well as accessing their lands and farms, government signed a loan agreement with the Caribbean Development Fund, the CDF, in July 6, 2013, to fund the $9 million project. The project resulted in many benefits to those residents living in the aforementioned areas. Among one of the benefits of the project was the now easier access to farmers for buyers.
By virtue of completion of the works, in all cases, the travel time for the farmers is reduced by over 80%. And this is very significant. This is going to cause a lot of social and economic change in these villages. You all know that this is going to happen when you build roads, right? In the wet season, it's impossible. In each case, at Purika, Ruby, and Luluni, farmers are able to better schedule their harvest through communication with their cell phone now. And the people come and they buy their stuff right at the farm, so nothing spoils.
Despite the project's success, Minister of Agriculture Noel Holder says that the ministry will not cease its work in bringing more convenience and effective opportunities to farmers to develop their activities.
See, the government of Guyana has recognized that investment in infrastructure is essential to increase on-farm production, to stimulate the rural non-farm economy and vitalize rural towns, to increase consumer demand in rural areas, and to facilitate the integration of rural areas into national and international economies. However, many roads are often inaccessible due to damage from heavy rain and inability to accommodate the type and level of traffic required.
The minister assured that his ministry will continue to partner with organizations such as the CDF to completely exploit agriculture in Guyana. These will include addressing difficulties farmers, producers, and buyers face in transporting their produce and other inputs, along with machinery.
New agencies are being sought to ensure Guyana's tourism potential is highly promoted in London. Gabriela Patram has the details.
The Guyana Tourism Authority and team will be in London to take part in the prestigious World Travel Market 2016 from November 7th to 9th. Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Indranath Harold Singh, says that while there, the team will be meeting with a number of publications to highlight Guyana and identify some specific wonders of the country that visitors can come and experience. The renowned Harpy Eagle will be one of the main attractions being promoted in London.
We have a number of appointments that would keep us busy from 10 a.m. each day to 7 p.m., almost every half hour. The interest that is very, very high in Destination Guyana. So we'll be meeting with publications, we'll be meeting with travel writers, bloggers, freelance journalists, a lot of tour operators, conservation agencies, schools, you name it. The interest is so high.
The World Travel Market show will see some 5,000 exhibitors from 182 countries and regions. Additionally, the launch of Explore Guyana, which is the official tourist guide of the country, will take place in London. The director adds that the major goal of this magazine launch and participation at the WTM are to increase the destination brand awareness, perception, and positioning of Guyana, and to expand the sales distribution network.
Some of the objectives are to meet and network with existing distributors. It is important for us to meet with them and to obtain feedback on how we are doing as a destination, the challenges that they might have. How can we collaborate? Because they are the distribution network.
These activities are part of Tourism Awareness Month, which is observed under the theme Tourism for All, Building for Tourism Development. For the Government News Brief, I'm Gabriela Patram.
Region 7 Chairman commends government for providing relief following power outages. Zanila Williams tells us more.
Gordon Bradford, the regional chairman, says the new generator that will be sent to the region will bring relief to the township while they await the green energy project.
I want to thank Minister Patterson, Minister Ferguson, and the government as a whole in taking this seriously and seeking to have maybe one or two brand new sets that would give us a run for a good period. In the meantime, we transition from fossil fuel to green energy.
Bradford says it is unfortunate that the 3 units were damaged, but it is expected since the units are age-old. He explains that through the government's intervention, the township will benefit from improved electricity distribution.
The blackout situation too is not something that can be solved overnight. There's got to be a process. I think that would not solve the problem entirely, but it's going to put us in a situation whereby at least we may have a 4 or 5 year uninterrupted supply of power.
The regional chairman, in alluding to the 30 hours of blackout recently in the region, says it was devastating to residents, but he appreciates the efforts of the Guyana Power and Light workers.
I'll take this opportunity to take my hat off to those persons working with GPL at the power station. Those guys really do a lot, and I think that we don't recognize how hard these persons work because they're all living in Bartica. They're all from Bartica, and I don't think that any one of them would want to subscribe to us having blackouts because when they're at the power station and the blackout is on, their families at home is in blackout.
Bradford appealed to the residents in Bartica to continue to be patient with the government as it works assiduously to transform the township from fossil fuel to green energy, even though it will take time. I am Zanil Williams for the Government News Brief.
Hackathon competition is being used as an avenue to provide solutions for issues affecting Guyanese. Delon Sanko reports.
The Ministry of Public Telecommunications and the Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company, GTT, Hackathons competition kicked off today at the Artachon Convention Center. This competition sees both local and international competitors. Minister of Public Telecommunication Catherine Yu says she's excited about this event and the opportunity it will provide to young people.
So we thought it's a great opportunity to get all the tech-savvy young people together, to give them these challenges. They're going to have to ponder on it, they're going to have to work together, and they're going to come up with solutions. And in terms of the practicality or the usefulness of doing this, you know, as I mentioned, it shows us and it brings to light the individuals that we already have in the community.
The teams were given 4 challenges to review, and at the end of the exercise, they had to select one. Gina asked the team why they choose their challenge.
The effective incident reporting problem, which allows the community to report incidents, potholes in the roads or crime or something to that effect. The reason why we chose this is because we feel that it's absolutely relevant, and I think it's absolutely needed here. And I believe that we do have the skills to deliver on that.
Well, we believe that in order to have effective policies, we must do it from data. It must be data-driven policies. So who better to gather data for you than the people of your country?
This is a unique event. It's nice to see the government taking an interest in the field. And since we are IT professionals by trade, we thought it would be fun just to come and see our other IT professionals and participate in the competition.
We're taking up the agriculture-based challenge, and this challenge it will help to link buyers with sellers of agricultural produce.
We chose the challenge. What was the name of it? It involved the agricultural challenge.
I think that's challenge 2.
Yeah, I think that's challenge 2. Yeah. Well, that personally is important to me, right? Because I would like to get involved in the agricultural sector. And I think it's one of the main industries, well, it is one of the main industries in Guyana. And I think by doing this challenge, I think agriculture will have a greater impact.
We picked for challenge 1, the pension payment. As we see, we think it's an
global issue.
Yes, a global issue, as you can speak. And it's something that really spoke to us. And as a team, everybody would pick that one.
We chose it because it is the one that gives you the most level of, for interpretation, right? Like, we're thinking about things way beyond pensioning initially, but we're going to be focusing on pensioning for this iteration. But we have a bunch of ideas that we want to explore.
The hackathon competition has 8 teams and 48 hours to finish the challenge. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
Today, Guyana participates in observing Malaria Day in the Americas under the theme End Malaria for Good. Guyana has been commemorating a National Malaria Day since 2003. Vector Control Services of the Ministry of Public Health will be hosting a month of awareness activities aimed at reducing the rate of new malaria cases, reducing malaria death, and preventing the resurgence of the mosquito-borne illness in Guyana. The day was today launched in Bartica since, according to statistics, that community is known to have the highest rate of reported malaria cases. Gina encourages you to support your relatives and friends who have malaria and encourage them to take their treatment. We have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on Gina's website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like us and follow us on Facebook to be updated as the news unfolds. Do join us again on Monday for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Renetta LaFleur for the Government News Brief. Do have a safe weekend.